What's going on, guys? Chris here at 4K Motoring, and today I want to bring you in on a little issue we have with a car that I've not shown on this channel before. We've recently picked up a new to us Porsche 981 Boxster. It's a 2013. Honestly, a lot of fun to drive and a whole lot more refined than my RIP 99 Boxster that I used to have. We picked up this car and overall it was very clean. It was very well optioned. It had a lot of things going for it, really well taken care of. One thing we noticed is that the windshield washer sprayer didn't spray anything. Now, didn't think a whole lot about this from the beginning. Obviously, being passed around as a used car, going to auction, that sort of thing. Sometimes those fluids get a bit neglected. Not a big deal. Went ahead and filled up the windshield washer sprayer. Now with this washer sprayer, obviously it's under the frunk or front trunk. Something we noticed with this car that is a pretty common thing on a lot of Porsches, that the hood struts are actually pretty weak, and in cold weather or anything but the highest position, the hood just kind of falls on its own. So we knew we had to order some new struts, but coming into our washer fluid, we can see while our fluid is here, it took a full gallon, so we knew it was pretty empty to begin with. But while checking out these shocks, we noticed, hey, that's not supposed to happen. So this is a pretty clear sign that either the line itself had broken or one of the little adapters has broken inside. Unfortunately, this particular hose runs through the hinge mechanism on the car. That gives us a couple options on how we can handle that. We can disconnect the hose from one side or the other and run it through, fix it and run it back. Or more likely what we're gonna do is just unbolt the hinge here real quick, go ahead and fix that line and then rebolt it back up. It really shouldn't be that big a deal, and I think it'll get us everything functioning the way it should with minimal time or effort. Those of you that have done any of this bodywork before, you know that sometimes panel alignment can be an issue. We're going to try and not take this hinge completely off. What I think we can do from the amount of gap on the side here, I can almost get this line out through. I think if we can just loosen this hinge a little bit, just to have it flex a bit, I think we'll be able to get it out and fixed. So we're going to try that now. This is a 10 mil bolt, top and bottom. Now our hood's kind of loose and this line just pops off. So let me get a tool to get the other half of the line off. So after further examination, it appears that this is not actually broken. This is the way the tip is designed, and it just came unplugged from its housing here. So we're going to try and just fit it back together, see if it had just received a little extra pressure last time, that we can get it just reset. There we go, and let's see if we can re-hide it here. As we have, everything is back the way it's supposed to be. We'll go ahead and just tighten this back down. All right, well that was a pretty easy fix. Turned out all it was the actual tubing, the rubber hose, and a plastic fitting had come apart. They just pressed back together. The teeth on the plastic fitting designed to hold the rubber hose on didn't seem super tall or strong. Might be how this happened. I'm not quite sure. But they both back on and they feel like they're pretty tight. So we'll see if that works. We should have the ability to use our windshield washer sprayers now, which is just in time for pollen season when they're actually going to be needed. If you've been in North Carolina in early spring, you know the pollen, it is real, and we're glad we have that fixed. Now all we have to do is these hood struts. Very easy fix. Actually, it's kind of interesting. I found these on a couple of the Porsche parts supplier websites that I'd usually go to for my old car, and they were kind of expensive. For these little hood struts, they were $40 and $60 a piece, which I thought was kind of ridiculous. I looked on Amazon just to see if I can get them cheaper, and they were a couple dollars cheaper, but still pretty darn expensive. I then went to Rock Auto, and inexplicably, these things were under $10 a piece when I ordered them for the exact same brand, same model number, hood struts. I don't know why this is the way it is, but I've noticed oftentimes, especially on the Porsches, there's going to be a huge disparity in price depending on which source you go to. Amazon and Rock Auto are generally good go-tos for everything. They generally have reasonable prices. Those other websites, the specialized suppliers, are definitely going to have some stuff that you might not find elsewhere. But you always have to compare prices between all of those because one of them will usually have significantly cheaper prices than the rest for whatever reason that is. So the parts I got are from Stabilus, is the brand name. There's the model number for you. These are the ones I found on all the suppliers' websites. Same model, same brand. As we can see when we remove them from the package, they are the same size as our original ones. Obviously our original ones are Eckel brand, not Stabilus. But either way, these should be fine. They do look like they're the right parts. We're going to go ahead and throw them on real quick. These are a pretty easy installation. All you need is a little flathead screwdriver. Let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, so if you've never replaced these things before, what you're going to have is a little end just like that with a flat spot on it. That's going to have a little retainer clip that goes inside, which holds a ball socket. So that little clip on the outside, that little flat spot, all you have to do is get a screwdriver small enough to fit in there, a little flathead, and be able to pry up on it. When you do that, you can see it pulls apart those teeth to allow it to come off that ball socket. So that's all we're going to do. We're going to pull it off this side. We'll do one at a time here. It's sometimes helpful if you have a stick to hold the hood open. That way you don't have to rely on these with only one of them on there. Or a second person is sometimes handy as well. We'll go ahead and swap them and we should be done with this whole venture pretty quick. So we get this top one pulled off. And when you're removing them, you can really take these metal clips off. It doesn't hurt it because you're not going to be reusing them. They might require a little bit of convincing to come off. All right, so our new one's going to go on. There we go. That one's clipped in. There we go. So to be put on, you almost don't really need to pry these back. They almost just snap right on, which is a huge time saver. It does make things a lot easier. Let's go ahead and do the other side. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull this one off as well. Pry and yank on both sides. Snap. And manipulate the hood a little bit. Snap. We are done. Well, we're done. We have our windshield washer sprayers fixed and we have our new hood struts installed. You guys saw before with the hood about here, it would definitely just fall, and now it raises. That just shows you how important these things are. It is quite annoying when all the hood wants to do is keep falling on you. Now, there are better things for you to do than fight with your own car, so these are a very, very cheap way to have your car looking and operating like normal. Appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you found this informative. I know these hood struts are a very common thing on these Porsches. The 911s, the Boxsters, most of the other brands that have them. My old Boxster did, this one did. This is a 2013 behind me. Only has 60,000 miles and it needed them done. It's really more of an age thing than anything else. If your car is having this issue, I'm gonna link the actual struts I use down below. That way you guys know which ones to order. They seem to be working just fine. If you guys have a different vehicle that also uses gas struts and the hood keeps falling down, or from the halfway point it doesn't pick itself up, it's probably on its way out as well. These are very cheap and easy to install. Go ahead and order some new ones for yourself as well. Car definitely deserves it. Well guys, thanks for watching 4K Motoring. I'm Chris. We'll definitely have some more content for you soon. As you can see, the Multistrada's got a couple new toys on it. There'll definitely be some more Multistrada content coming soon. If there's anything in particular you want to see or want to ask, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.